Hello guys and welcome back to another video. So I just skipped out on most of the news over Jurassic World Rebirth because the last couple of days a bunch of Jurassic World Rebirth news came out and I didn't really make any videos about it, so I kind of just skipped out on it. But now I do want to make a video on all of these kind of speculative species that I think might appear in Jurassic World Rebirth, as well as the answer to will Diabloceratops be in Jurassic World Rebirth. So let's get into the video. So, as probably most of you guys know by now, Diabloceratops is rumored to appear in Jurassic World Rebirth because Funko Pop actually released or showed an image of their Diabloceratops for the Jurassic World Rebirth wave, and it came alongside a Carnotaurus. And what most people what you might think is that they're just making a Diabloceratops because it's a cool species, just like Mattel makes things like Innostrancevia, Ornitholestes, and things like that. But Funko Pop normally doesn't do that, so it's kind of weird because, like, for the Minion, and I don't know if it even existed back in Fallen Kingdom, but I assume that it did. But I don't think that they have actually ever made a figure or figures that didn't appear in a movie. So this is something pretty interesting. And for the Carnotaurus, it has a different color scheme, and the Diabloceratops has a color scheme similar to the Mattel Diabloceratops. And so you could say that maybe they just made a Diabloceratops inspired of the Mattel figure, but these are two completely different companies, so I don't think that is the case. So for the Carnotaurus, like, some people are thinking that this could be the camouflaging Carnotaurus, but I don't think that this will actually be the case, because it's kind of like a green Carnotaurus. But we do know that Funko Pop, although they always do sculpts and species of the Jurassic movies, they don't always get the colors right. Like for the Minion, the Pterosaurus had like a green face with blue and things like that. It definitely didn't have a green face in the Minion. So for the Carnotaurus, unfortunately, I don't think that the camouflaging Carnotaurus will appear. Also, it would kind of be like a bit too overcrowded with all of the scenes that appear in the movie. So yeah, I don't think that the camouflaging Carnotaurus will be in the movie. But yeah, maybe just the normal burnt Carnotaurus will be in the movie. We don't know. But what is my theory on the Diabloceratops? Well, the Diabloceratops. So, as we know, in the Minion there was a news report at the start of the movie. So I think that there might also be a news report on the beginning of this movie that might feature a Kentrosaurus, because we do know from the captive card that there is a Kentrosaurus, and I don't think that's for the movies, at least. Like, I do know that for the 30th anniversary for Jurassic Park that they made some random cards, but for the movies I don't think that they actually make random cards. So I think that captives, that they made the Kentrosaurus because at the start of the movie there might be a news report with the Kentrosaurus in a field, in a long grass field, like we see it on the card. So yeah. And for the Carnotaurus, it might be the same with the Carnotaurus. But for the Diabloceratops, what do I think is the case with the Diabloceratops? Well, in the trailer we do know that Martin Krabs says that there are 24 species in the movie. So what my theory is that he actually goes ahead and mentions all of the species, like Spinosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Titanosaurus, etc. And he actually mentions Diabloceratops, but we never see it in the movie. And that's why Funko made a Diabloceratops not based off a movie design, but just because it was mentioned in the movie. And this might be the same case with the Kentrosaurus and the Carnotaurus. They might be mentioned by Martin Krabs, but just don't appear in the movie. So I think that is the answer. But then let's dive in to the Purussaurus. And I know that for April Fools, I actually made a video about the Purussaurus that it was going to appear in the movie, and I think that some people actually believed that it was real, like a few weeks or months after that video. So this might actually be real in that exact scene that I troll about. Because in a recently released clip, we actually see the director, Gareth Edwards, like, saying this to the characters. So the water is gonna do this past you and you're not sure, maybe it was just your imagination. So there's something in the water, and I have seen people like Swerve speculate that this could just be something to add more tense to that moment, and we don't actually see a scene. But I don't think that is the case, because in a different clip, like a behind the scenes, we actually see Henry like gasping for air, jumping out of the water, and that means that the creature in the water must have grabbed him. So this, I think, will be a very intense scene, not really a long one, but it might be an intense scene. And also in a different clip, we actually see Zora closing the DNA box, or the DNA box on the side of that swamp, and then we actually see a little dot or something, or a little dinosaur, like it seems like to be behind her, but it's like one frame that you see a very small portion of that thing. So it could be anything. It could be an Ankylosaurus head, or it could be the Purussaurus jumping out of the water. What I really hope is the case. So the reason why I think that Purussaurus will be in the movie is because Mattel has made a toy for Purussaurus, so that might be the case. And I really hope that it will be Purussaurus, but also maybe Purussaurus is a bit too big for them to not notice it very well. But another theory is Dentaneosuchus, because there were some leaks floating around a few months ago that Mattel would release a danger pack Dentaneosuchus. What we don't know isn't the case, at least for now, at least. So what also could be the case is that there's actually a Dentaneosuchus or some Dentaneosuchuses in that swamp, and Mattel will release it for Wave 3, because my theory is that for Wave 3 that they will release a bunch of species that are in the movie. Like Wave 2, I had barely any species that were in the movie, so I think that they might make a smaller Wave 3 with a bunch of species in the movie. So maybe they are saving the Dentaneosuchus, just do not spoil it. So that's it for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you enjoyed, definitely leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye everyone!